What's good, YouTube? Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender has just leaked online, and it is spreading everywhere. This is probably one of the largest leaks with regarding movies in Hollywood within the last decade, easily. Um, which all started off at first. We thought that that Paramount Studios, the movie studio that was directing the film, had actually been hacked. Those were kind of the what was going on beforehand, because if you go online, you would have seen that there was a watermark that was planted onto one of the short videos that were leaking all over Twitter, or now X. Um, but the Hollywood Reporter has just reported this morning, April 16th, a little bit more grounds, or a little bit more of an understanding, or an explanation rather, of what's going on behind the scenes of what just happened. So if you don't know, Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender was a movie that's been in the it's been in the works for the last few years. I personally had no idea it was even on the way. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the following series, or the series that followed afterwards. So this would have been right up my alley. But I had no clue that this was coming out. There was zero to no marketing behind it, and until this leaked online, and I low key got spoiled. I probably would have never known. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article by the Hollywood Reporter that gives us an explanation of what's going on with this movie, what's going on with this leak, and yeah. So starting from right here, behind the hacker leak of Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. The movie leaked months ahead of its premiere on Paramount Plus. An anonymous X account claimed that a Nickelodeon employee emailed him the entire film, though that appears not to be the case. So check this out. The person behind the anonymous X account, I'm Still Dissing, figured he was just trolling when he leaked 2 minute long clips, excuse me about that, 2 minute long clips of The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. On Sunday, a friend from the hacker days sent him a full copy of the movie. He didn't know what it was until he looked it up. I just saw it's a Paramount Plus thing, so I decided I'd troll a little bit. Bad decision, brother. By posting the videos, he says, explaining that he didn't think it was a big deal since the movie isn't being released in theaters. Stupid take. Don't. Oh my gosh. He added a Peggle Crew watermark to the clips in a nod to the affiliation of the hacker that sent him the movie. So this is kind of what I was talking about before, where I was saying, hey, there was a watermark that was on the film, or that was on the film on the early leaks that were going around, which led people to think that Paramount was being held with a ransom, for the movie not to be released, and basically hackers were threatening to release the full thing. That was the assumption at before. Within hours, the videos, excuse me, Within hours, the video reached the far corners of the internet. That included 4chan, where a community of superfan hackers discuss trading movies and TV shows they illicitly attain amongst themselves, and, at times, sell their hauls to the highest bidder. Posters beg I'm Still Distant on to leak the full film. Excuse me. He resisted, though it didn't matter. Or thought he resisted, though it didn't matter. By Monday, an unrelated account that appears to belong to someone in Singapore linked the full movie. It circulated widely across the diehard fanbase since then. Okay. So literally, we're right here. We're seeing that this thing is already spreading all about. This guy went into little places. He explained that, oh, I got it from a friend. And basically, hey, here's the little communities, little roaches that are low key. I mean, once again, I'm not sure where I sit on this. Where I sit with people leaking movies and films, because in one eye, this is like somebody's art and somebody's creation, and the other eye, there's a lot of politics that go into this as well. So who knows? Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Let's continue. Hollywood. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Hollywood is no stranger to leaks. Screeners of The Revenant, Zero Dark 30, Game of Thrones all hit internet days or weeks before they were officially released. Still, you'd have to go to as far as back as 2017, when hackers stole episodes of the newest season of Orange is the New Black from the show's post-production vendor in a bid to extort Netflix. For another incident involving a title as big as Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender, that was leaked months in advance. Okay. So literally talking about other shows and movies that have literally been leaked, and this being one of the biggest, if not the biggest, with the most time ahead, in a long time. And this is, once again, these are all big series. The Revenant, Zero Dark 30, Game of Thrones, Legend of Aang. There's some big titles in here, okay? But Legend of Aang is quite a big one right now. Paramount has conducted an investigation into the incident. This is where I say it was really stupid, bro. As soon as you post this on, as soon as I hit Twitter and you didn't post the full movie, it no longer mattered anyways. As soon as you started giving out information about where divulging the information of where you got it from, you already screwed yourself. So Paramount, this huge billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company, has conducted an investigation into the incident as part of the ongoing probe. The company eliminated the possibility that the leak was caused by a vulnerability in its systems. Sources familiar with the situation tell the Hollywood Reporter. Clips of the movie on X are still being taken down through its copyright takedown process. Basically, X doing its thing, taking down copyrighted film. So yeah, let's continue. Nothing out of the ordinary there. The fallout has sparked a discussion over Paramount's decision to forego a traditional theatrical release for a valuable franchise. The original series had a dazzling Netflix run in 2020 when it topped the streamer's daily chart for more than 60 consecutive days, a record for the time for a non-Netflix original, and even last year when it ranked the third most streamed animated show on the platform, 2 decades after it was released. Not surprised, it's literally Avatar. Come on, bro. The series has finished around Nielsen's top 100 most streamed titles during 17 of 139 weeks since its debut on the platform in March 2023. Paramount, which declined to comment, decided to bypass the theatrical run as part of its plan for a streamer to become the exclusive home of all animated content from Avatar Studios, the creative force behind the universe. So literally, they're like trying to hold it. They're like, "Hey, this is gonna be us." Pointing to Paramount's pivot away from releasing the movie in theaters. Some fans have defended their choice to legally download the leaked movie. One common refrain: they would have parodied the film anyway since it would have been premiered on the Paramount Plus. Understandable. Not saying I agree, not saying I disagree. I know where I stand with it, but I'm not saying it. Uh, I'm not surprised that people were gonna be. I mean, once again, if you're putting your film, if you're putting movie shows on these streaming services, what is stopping me from literally having open my OBS and recording this and putting it somewhere else, even if it's on my own local server? I mean, at that point, I'm probably not pirating it, but I could put it somewhere else and vice versa. There's plenty of places. And I agree though. Such a big film, such a big present. Like this film would have had presence and aura. I mean, it still does. I'm sure. I haven't seen it yet, but just imagine an official theatrical release. I really think that they should reconsider. I think they can fix this right now with decent PR, and they release this within the next 2 weeks, or to the next month, or within the next 2 months, giving it a theatrical release. That's the only way that they're gonna truly. I mean, it's gonna sell regardless. Once it's on the streaming service and people come here, I mean, I doubt little kids and your mother or grandparents or your random cousin are going to be over here trying to go ahead and look for the leak. But this leak is everywhere, and the Avatar series is not a small franchise whatsoever. So I mean, once again, if you want to find this, dude, it was so easy. I mean, I didn't find it, or I didn't watch it, but all I had to do was go on X, look up the title of the movie, and bam, it's right there at the top post. There's many of them. So let's continue, anyways. Another praised the animation said the movie deserved to be in theaters. They added of Paramount. You find animation like this and you throw it on a dead platform without any fucking advertising. The leak is deserved. That's a fair sentiment in my opinion. One more time. Well, not to give too much of my opinion. Actually, screw it. This is my channel. My opinion is that once again, hey, it's something like this. You're holding such a large franchise hostage at that point. That's like literally you holding such something that's so beloved, such a large, and it's not your original creation either, and just tossing it into a corner. That's like saying, "Hey, here's this musician's album. We have it. It's ready to be released, but we're not going to release it on any DSPs or anything like that. That you're any traditional. I mean, once again, Paramount Plus is very much traditional at this point." But it's completely wrong, or actually, I wouldn't even call it traditional. I mean, it is in 2026. Streaming's been around for a while, but at least no theatrical release is literally a fucking crime. And to be honest, at that point, imagine if Dragon Ball Z said, you know what, hey, we're just gonna release this on Crunchyroll and no theatrical release. I mean, bro, I would support because I want to support I support the studios that've done the work and put in the legwork. But I cannot support Paramount. I cannot like yeah, you're funding, give me that, you know. So it's a situation where it's like one of these. I mean, hearing the circumstances of how it's going to be released, this is how it was being presented to me. Otherwise, I'm not sure how. I mean, I don't use Paramount Plus. Unless I've got an advertisement showing that this movie existed, or I heard it from a friend or online sources, I was never gonna. It was never gonna be on my feed. But let's continue, okay? Animators because here's a very important part. Animators for the movie urge fans to resist watching, explaining that doing so undermines the work of the cast and crew. This is incredibly disrespectful to all of the hard work that the artists put in. Wrote Julia Scholl, creator of the animated short film The Legends of Pee, who's also I'm pretty sure I'm fucking that up, but okay. Who's also worked in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, of course, on X. She called Paramount opting not to pursue a theatrical release is a terrible decision. Adding that the crew worked on the Aang movie for years with the expectation that we get to celebrate all of our hard work in theaters, and that's another important and valid point. Once again, I understand that leaking and this is taking money, this is taking food off their plates. But the other could also be said as well as, hey, this is such a large franchise that has saw this potential. Why not release it in theaters where we can eat? And secondly, outside of just eating and making a profit, we get to have the proper experience. So I'm just not understanding where Paramount's thought process was. They've dropped the ball, and to be honest, they need to make this correct. I'm not saying that they are right to have any of this stuff leaked, because obviously this is somebody's work. I mean, this is it is what it is. Technically, it's like pirating. I mean, right? Uh, but as you can see, Julia, I feel for you on that one. I could imagine like, hey, I worked for this big company, and the fan base did it when the company were getting into politics that had barely much to do with me, and I get screwed for it. Here, let's see. Added Tessa Bright, animation director at Flying Bark Studios, which animated the movie. It's excuse me. It's perfectly reasonable for anyone who worked on this project to be frustrated at the situation. The amount of effort and dedication it took for me to make this film happen speaks for itself in the final product, and I'm sure you will agree. Once again, I have no doubt. Hopefully, a franchise, or not even hopefully, a franchise so beloved and so like, bro, as all you have to do is give it a great story, good animation, just give them whatever they need to make that happen, and you can never fail. It can never fail. Let's continue. That's it's sad. I'm so distant says he never planned to leak the entire movie, not necessarily out of respect to Paramount, but rather because it's a jackass thing to do. Yeah, this is where I'd have regret. I'd be like, man, this came from somebody else. Obviously, I don't even fucking work at Paramount. I don't work at any of these studios. This came to me. I was just putting this out here, getting a little bit clout, whatever. It wasn't even about clout. I'm not saying I would do this, right? But this is his. I'm guessing this is where his mind was. I'll just put because he said he wasn't gonna put the full film. What was the point in this, right? Especially falsely putting a different watermark. Yeah, I bet you have a little bit of guilt there, buddy. Just that sucks. It didn't matter. The video he shared was obtained by someone affiliated with Peggle Group, a hacking group best known for its 2016 infiltration of download hosting site to distribute malware. But it appears others already had the full movie. Yeah, because the Singapore release, that's when it's like, hey, I feel bad for bro, but I'm not holding bro. This is stupid. You kind of put yourself in a line of fire if that makes any sense. Multiple people had access to it. I'm still distant says, not just my guy. I don't even doubt it. One more time. If this is going from what I heard online a little bit earlier, this had something to do with the distributor, basically getting product, and especially since it was not going to be like it was moving around. It was moving around already behind the scenes, and basically it was already going from distributor to distributor, and people are pocketing their own little copies, just like how people used to do video games back in the day or any other type of collectible. This type of stuff happens, and we shouldn't act too surprised. I mean, this how people play Call of Duty. They get Easter eggs, campaigns, story modes completed way earlier. People get this stuff happens. Okay, let's not all act stupid. Okay. Well, the original video has he received is unclear. It was a recording of the movie, meaning There were likely security measures in place to prevent unauthorized downloading. The version of the film that was ultimately pirated across the internet was a high quality file, potentially indicating a branch of systems maintained by those who worked on the movie. The incident follows an unfinished copy of Paramount's Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, leaking a couple weeks of its theatrical release in 2024. The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender is scheduled to premiere on Paramount Plus in October. Damn. Though the league may force the David Ellison led company to reconsider plans. They should definitely go ahead and reconsider plans. There's no way that they should wait until this comes out into October unless they want to make maybe 75% of what it would have originally made, if not less. If they want to make their money, I'd say go ahead and start making the marketing out for this. Let this be a part of the marketing. It's already going viral now. This is the most amount of exposure this movie is going to get before its official release. It wasn't going to get the proper exposure it needed to really cultivate money, anyways, until probably the release and people realize that this thing even exists. So let this hopefully be a learning lesson for the entire industry, but definitely for Paramount. You guys need to put out a theatrical release. They make this shit right. I'm not understanding how you guys dropped the ball so hard on this. Where, like, there's so many just levels of security that were just missed. This is literally stupid. But also I can understand what the people who actually physically worked on the movie. Um, that kind of freaking blows, dude. You fucking work on this thing for years, and maybe you're so proud of. You're not even allowed to tell. Imagine you're not even allowed to tell your kids about it. You're working on this film that you know your kids may love, and you're not allowed to talk about it to your kids because literally the kids are gonna speak about it to other people, and so you're just holding it out. You're just holding it out, and then next thing you know, it's leaked. And not only is it leaked, it's never going to go to theaters. So maybe this is for the best. All right, but hope you guys had a good day. Enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment. Obviously, this is my first video in a long fucking time. So yeah, go ahead and like, subscribe. Thanks.